What is going on, guys? Today we're just going to go over a little bit of a recap of the Giants Live, World's Strongest Nation, the UK versus the US, my thoughts and experiences, and overall just how I feel like the competition went and how good it felt to finally bring that trophy back to the States where it belongs. So we got into it. We all first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Martins Licis. He was an amazing team captain. He stayed in constant contact with us through a group chat message that he created for all of us to be able to voice our opinions on anything from events to which athletes are doing what to anything in between. He was an amazing morale support, and he was also pretty much a key to us winning the competition with his strategy and being very hands-on and involved. So big shout out to Martins for that. Love you, brother. You did amazing as a captain, and I can see why you were chosen to lead the team. Now, on to the first event. I believe the first event was the Sandbag Steeplechase. This was an event that I knew we had a very good shot at winning. Most of our guys are very, very fast. We're very athletic, and we were able to maneuver the sandbags over the steeple, go underneath the steeple, load them onto the platform, and then beeline back and tag in the next person that comes in. We were able to manage that without any mistakes or hiccups. Everybody did their job. Everybody was super, super fast. There was a couple of slip-ups on the UK team, which caused us to have quite a commanding lead towards the end. I was the last athlete to go. So we knew that we already won by the time that I got to my sandbag. But you know me, I go everything 100%. I give it all my all. So yeah. So I ended up getting the fastest time out of the entire competition of getting my sandbag to the platform and then sprinting back across the line. So that was cool. So we ended up picking up, I think, 4 points, 3 for the event and 1 extra one because I had the fastest time of everybody in the competition. And then after that, we had the Farmers Walk. I was super, super excited about this event because I knew nobody was going to be able to touch me on this. Farmers Walk is one of my best events. It's up there right with Circus Dumbbell. It's up there with Harness Truck Pull. That's one of just my events, and I was really excited for that. It wasn't terribly, terribly heavy, so I knew I was going to absolutely blitz it. I ended up again being the fastest competitor, and this one was a lot closer. There was a lot less mistakes made on the UK team. We were pretty much neck and neck. There was a point where the UK team actually had a good lead on us for a decent amount of the Farmers Walk, but we ended up pulling back with Spencer, Martins, Kevin, and then finally me. Inez flying down the course. Erin flew down the fucking course. She picked up a lot of good time from space for us, and then I came in and I absolutely blitzed it. Again, coming in first place overall in the entire event. I had the fastest run, so that was another 4 points for Team US. Going into the third event, we already had an 8-point lead, which made the victory for the UK team kind of look kind of bleak, which it was. But event 3, I believe, was the deadlift axle for reps. This was going to be an event where we were going to have to really push hard if we wanted to pull the win. And unfortunately, we ended up taking second. We did not win this event. Going into it, there was too much of a deficit on reps between the UK and the US team, us being like in second. So me going out there and essentially blowing my load on the axle would not have been smart. So Martins was keeping an eye on. I was going up against Tom one-on-one, and by that point they had a significant lead on us. Tom Stoltman is an amazing deadlifter, 4 reps, 4 max, whatever it is. So Martins kept an eye on them, and if Martins saw that Tom got to like 2 or 3 reps and just didn't slow down, and he was very consistent and feeling strong, we were just going to call it. I ended up doing 3 reps before Martins told me to stop, and I mean it is what it is. Not really too worried about that considering the events to come. I believe after that was the Circus Dumbbell, and we all know how that was going to turn out. I ended up winning the entire event once again for Team US. We actually went into it because it was 2 women that went, and then it was Rob Kearney that went before me again, and an absolutely amazing dumbbell presser. I love Rob to death. I love competing with Rob. When I stepped up to go up against Gavin Bilton, we were at a deficit. I forget how many reps we were. I think it was like 2 or 3 reps, something like that. And yeah, but I also knew that my circus dumbbell is one of the best in the world, and I knew that I was capable of winning this event. So all I needed to do was just go and go and go. And we ended up winning the event by 2 or 3 reps. I had 7 reps overall, and if I'm being totally honest, I was pacing myself. I wasn't really going all out. You can rewatch the footage. Every single press looked exactly the same because it was easy. Yeah, and side note, a little bit of a sidebar in this competition. Obviously, we were competing for the strongest nation title, and the U.S. was competing on UK soil, so it was a home crowd. So they were obviously a little bit more interested in cheering for the UK athletes than the U.S. athletes. So I thought it would be a fun opportunity to kind of kick up a little bit more WWE style entertainment, and I brought out my old wrestling heel persona, and it was a good time. By the end of the night, I had everybody in that arena booing me. It was just me. It wasn't Team US. It was just me because of my bad guy antics and personality. I like doing stuff like that because it's a way to get the crowd engaged, and it's a way to get the crowd involved, reacting to how they react to us lifting. It's a way to get them engaged, and it gives them a reason to buy a ticket for next year or tune into the live stream. Just spice it up a little bit and make it a little bit more entertaining. I don't mind doing that. I had an amazing time doing that. Not bothered at all that I got booed by like 4,000 people or whatever it was. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time, and I'm more than happy to do that whenever the competition needs it. But on to the next event. I believe the next event was the Wrecking Ball Hold. This was an event that I had previous experience with, and outside of Mark Felix, I pretty much have the strongest grip, and a lot of people don't really understand this, but this isn't just a grip event. It's also holding that weight in front of you in almost like a sumo stance for an extended period of time really fries your lower back, your posterior chain, so like your glutes and your hamstrings, even down to your calves. This event burns. I went into it relatively confident. I thought that I was going to be able to catch Mark just because of the last time that I did this event. I had way more time in me than I actually did in the competition, and I ended up putting it down just because I knew that I had already won that event out of the athletes that were competing in the full comp. This time, I did hit that wall. I went as long as I could, but the body just wasn't able to hold it after doing so many events prior to that, so I ended up dropping it. I think I came in 3rd overall. Kevin Fairs, I want this on record too. Kevin Fairs coming out of nowhere. Well, I shouldn't say nowhere because that would do him a disservice. Kevin's an amazing athlete, and everybody knows that Kevin's grip is absolutely amazing. Everybody kind of expected Mark to come in and set the new world record and all of that good stuff, but Kevin absolutely blitzed that world record. I mean, he came into that event like ready. I think he beat the previous world record set by Mark Felix by like 20 or 30 seconds. An absolute animal. That was so cool to watch because he was stoic and he didn't move at all. Dude's a fucking animal on that event. I don't want that event to come back at a show that I'm competing at if he's there too. But so I ended up coming in like 3rd in that event, I think. And so we move on to the team tug of war. It was all of the women versus all of the women, and then it was all the men versus all the men, and then it was a mixed team at the end. There was 3 points up for grabs. During my first attempt on the men versus men, I ended up getting the worst ab cramp I have ever had in my entire life. It was awful. I was actually a little bit worried at one point that it was a fucking hernia. It hurt so bad. Essentially, my psoas and my lower abdomen just completely locked up on me. I got a really bad pull in my calf, and it was just not a good time for me. I did not have fun doing that event at all. So they ended up pulling me out because of that, so I could go to the medical table and I could get that released for the final event, which was the most important, because it doesn't matter what the points are, essentially, going into the last event, which would be power stairs. Whoever finishes the power stairs first is the one who wins the competition. So it's important for me to be as ready to go for power stairs as possible. So Martins pulled me out, and he made Abby the ganker because the anchor because she was the second heaviest on our entire team. And I went to the medical table to get that loosened up. They did all they could. It was still kind of sore and still a little bit iffy, but I knew I was going to be able to power through it. And sure enough, the UK team ended up winning all 3 rounds of the tug of war. They just had so much body weight on us on top of the strength. So there wasn't really a whole lot that we could do in that situation. We held on as long as we could. We fought till the end, like all good Americans should do, but it just wasn't enough in that event. And then we moved on to power stairs. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we had a 3 or a 4 second penalty on UK, so they couldn't start right away when the whistle blew. So we had a head start going into the power stairs, which ended up being absolutely crucial. We ended up taking complete advantage of that lead, and we ended up pulling the win. I was the last one to go out, and I threw the last implement on top of the power stairs, and that was it. That was game over. Team USA is the strongest nation in the entire world, and it was an amazing feeling to finish the season off with a win. Would have preferred it to have been an individual competition win, yes, of course, but the team comp still meant a lot to me. I'm a very patriotic person. I love America. I love living where I live, and I feel very privileged to live where I live. So it meant a decent amount to me to be able to go to the world's strongest nation and be able to show up and show out for my country, representing my country. Very happy with the results. And Martins, being the team leader and good guy that he is, after the competition was over and we were doing like victory speeches and posing with the trophy on the stairs and all of that good stuff, he called me down and he took the microphone and he said, "I want everybody to know that Evan put his heart and soul into this event, and he did every single event without bitching or moaning. And he won 3 events out of the possible 7 for us. He was crucial. He was the MVP. That's why he deserves to go home with the trophy. And that really made me feel really good. I was able to keep the trophy, so I kept the trophy and the medal that they gave us. And that meant a lot to me. I really appreciated that kind of like acknowledgement. And like I fully believe that our entire team pulled their weight. We all did an amazing job. We all kicked ass. We all took names. It was just nice to get that recognition. That felt really good, and I really appreciate that. So again, Martins, showing the world why you were captain. Kudos to you. That was a really, really boss cash money move. But yeah. I will say I am super, super beat up from this. This is the longest that I have taken off from the gym after finishing a competition, just because my body is so beat up and sore. In the process of about 3 or 4 hours, I did 7 events, which is almost as many events as the Shaw Classic, and it's within a much shorter time frame. I am so beat up. That night I was so beat up, and body is definitely hurting. I'm still trying to bounce back from that, but in the next couple of days I'll be going back to the gym just to do some bodybuilding stuff. My off season has officially started. It's the end of the 2023 strongman season. I ended up with 3 competition wins, multiple top 5 finishes at the biggest competitions in the world, and as of recently I have just been invited to my very, very first Arnold Classic Ohio Strongman competition. I'm super, super excited for that. It's the first time in 4 years that I've even been given an invitation at all to go, and I'm super thankful and excited for this opportunity. So that'll be the beginning competition of the 2024 season. So my off season has officially started. I'm going to let the body recover a little bit, and then I'm going to get back into training hard so that I can come after that Louis Cyr trophy with everything that I have. So that is my official recap of the Giants Live World's Strongest Nation, UK versus US. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, T-Rex Kingdom, baby.